Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Wood, and I am a 3-year identity theft, identity change, injure, torture, body mutilations, skull deform, brain injure. I am an identity theft victim for revenge retaliation from Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. They are using, and how it's being done on me is by what is called remote neural monitoring. Police and military tech that's been in use since the 60s. Not a lot of people are aware of it. And as a result, I have it being used on me, and I am going through identity theft from it. I have been kidnapped, I have been skull split, I have been seriously brain injured, I have been I have been sex assaulted by O.P.P, I have been kidnapped, I have been lied about, cover-ups, obstructions, arrest refusals except for on me to deflect crimes in an attempt to give me a criminal record so O.P.P can justify the crimes that they are committing, medical blacklisting through Lennox and Addington County General Hospitals who criminally negligently are co-committing and help aid and cover up crimes for O.P.P and their Hells Angels inmate, wanted, harbored, sex offender, dangerous offender, one known as Billy Wooldridge. Yes, O.P.P are harboring a wanted inmate. They are harboring a wanted fugitive. They are harboring a serial killer. They are harboring a sex offender named Billy Wooldridge, and this is how I am going through my identity theft. Having the remote neural monitoring being used on me 24/7 is how I am going through my identity changes, how this is happening to me. I'm being broadcasted through 24/7 from this. I have prisoner tracking on me illegally from O.P.P. I have this remote neural monitoring used on me, and this is how I am being deformed and going through my identity theft. It's being used on me and passed around from Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Benalstein, a guy named Ray Ray that has a deaf white pit bull that lives on East Street behind Mamma Mia's, a Jason Benalstein, a Michelle Irish, a Holly Carlisle, and they are also guilty of using this on my dog and causing him serious harm with intent to murder my dog Runt. They have already caused him serious harm. So I'm the end of my bloodline, and I am an identity theft victim. I'm 50 years old, and I am a police O.P.P revenge retaliation identity theft victim for speaking of their crimes. They took my legal rights, my human rights, my medical rights. They had my mother stalked, and they had my mother murdered December 20th, 2020, and it was done from Spencer Mills and Stacy, mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston. And it was done through Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy, who were stalking my mother, who were using R&M on my mother and caused her cancer from EMFs and radiation from it. I've been medically blacklisted to prevent me any help, to prevent me from being taken serious about what is happening to me. So I am an identity theft victim, and this is how O.P.P traffic, frame, and murder. They harbor wanted inmates that they refuse to arrest, and then they use them to frame victims for, to traffic them. Chris Wood is dead. My identity is gone, and the Wood bloodline is gone, and this can all be proven. Luckily, nobody in Napanee is arrestable. Luckily, nobody in Napanee is touchable, no matter how much you can prove crimes. They have Spencer Mills, 14716, ex-chief or commander, Shelley Hafner, Stacy, a mental health worker, ex-chief again, staff sergeants, years 2019 and 21, pedophile, sex offending, sodomizing pieces of shit. Shannon Quirk, who laughs in people's faces over her boss, Billy Wooldridge's arrest, as he went on to stalk my mother and call her mom, and she knew exactly what he was doing. You helped kill my mother, Shannon Quirk, telling me to file a report, knowing it would have done no good. It would have been ripped up, tore up, burnt up. I'm not that stupid. But as you can see, this is Chris, but this is not my identity. This is Tyler Lake. This is Jason Van Alstyne. This is all these other fucking junkies who are using this on me, passing it around, and completely deforming me, playing me like a fucking fiddle through this while they're getting away with murder. Anybody thinks identity thefts can't happen, I 100% am proof that it can, and it does. This is how they frame traffic and murder right here in Napanee, and it's good old Spencer Mills, using sex offender wanted harbored inmates with delusions of grandeur who thinks that they're Harry fucking Potter. So the more I get numbed down to be dumbed down, the longer this is going to go on, and you're going to get away with it like you have been for 3 years. Next time you want anybody murdered, Spencer Mills, I suggest you take out your fucking gun and you pull the trigger yourself, you rotten fucking terrorist little piece of shit. This is how you murder, you fucking garbage. You use Tyler Lake, you use Jabin Alstein, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Bert Hustler, Maggie Falls, all your little fucking drug-fed, co-offending drug traffickers. Because they are the drug traffickers for Spencer Mills and Robert Kane here in Napanee. My identity theft is done. I'm 50 years old and I'm now looking like fucking Tyler Lake and like Jason Van Alstyne and all of these other fuckers who are doing this to me, who are also guilty of seriously injuring my dog as well with the intent to kill him. Anything happens to my dog, run, and you're going down, Tyler Lake and Holly Carlisle, you fucking scum pieces of shit bastards. You're treating my dog like a fucking game, you're treating me like a game. One way or another, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Alstein, you're gonna fucking pay for this, and you will go down for it. It's not gonna be done by O.P.P here because they've already proved it, and they will do everything to protect you. This is what happens when you speak of police crimes here in Napanee. You get injured, tortured, you get medically blacklisted, you get skull split, you get brain injured, and then you get fucked over, you get stalked, you have your parents murdered for revenge, for pleasure, because it was done for pleasure. It wasn't a Spencer Mills. You had my mother killed with intent, and I will not be fucking proven wrong. O.P.P has to prove nothing. They have to prove nothing. They even have a justice of the peace to obstruct. The woman looked like she just got railing a big line of cocaine and smelt of whiskey at 10 o'clock in the morning while accusing me of being high on marijuana and hallucinating being sodomized because it was done by fucking cops so she could obstruct, and by Billy Wooldridge, who owns her. That's right. The justice of the peace here is possibly owned by the Hells Angels and Banditos. O.P.P are owned by Hells Angels and Banditos. Let that be known. You child stalking, sex offending pieces of shit. This is about identity thefts and frauds too. You had me kidnapped for my blood and piss, so as part of this, you had me falsely arrested so you could get my prints, pictures, signatures for everything, for the forgeries, framings, and frauds against me. Time's been bought, my identity's done, and you are guilty of murdering the entire Wood bloodline O.P.P for your revenge because you're child fucking pieces of shit garbage. Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jabin Alstein, one way or another, like I said, you will be arrested. You will be charged. One way or another, you fucking cunts. I do not care if you work with and for O.P.P or not, you little drug-fed pieces of shit. My identity theft is done. I now look like all of these other fucks. So, There will be no mistaken identity. Time's been bought. Luckily, you have doctors here that can help you co-commit in your crimes and cover up while you're committing fucking identity thefts, physical fucking changing your victims. My skull's been softened from all the EMFs and radiation and from all the deforming going on from all of this for 3.5 years since August of 2019. After ex-O.P.P chief or commander had me shot in the ear by something, my right ear, and then all the problems and lies and everything else started. Remember my tattoos, people, because I am Chris Wood, and yes, this is not my image, not my true image. It's been getting changed over the last 3 years. My skull elongated, flattened, shortened, widened, rounded, blowing up like a damn balloon in a mushroom. Being told my hat fits, I'm fine. My skull being completely split into different sections, and doctors have no concern whatsoever because they're criminally negligently involved. From administration, Wayne Covey Duck, Sarah Fiddler, to Paladin Security, to Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, Stacy's girlfriend, to Dr. Joy Hadley, to Dr. McGregor, to Dr. Waldron, to Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, and ones you've used to discriminate against me, Dr. Mbimbola, Dr. Sue, Dr. Fardell. Tria's nurses Terry, Tanya, and David are involved. They are the human traffickers. They are the criminally negligent co-committing doctors that cover up crimes for O.P.P and inmates here in Napanee. The human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders, the O.P.P, you think you know. One way or another, I'm going to get arresting on these pieces of shit. I even tried to file OIPRD, but I can't do that because O.P.P is obstructing and refusing to give me badge numbers. How typical. And then I would have to take it there and have them sign off on it, and it would do no good because then I would be fucking shot most likely, or I would be kidnapped being there alone. You think I trust these bastards? And by the way, I was told that my back parking lot was a place for police to congregate and hang out and co-conspire and profile their victims. How you hang out there once in a while to chat. Bullshit. How too convenient. I put out a video talking about O.P.P crimes and me wanting charging and arresting. 10 minutes later, my parking lot was filled with nothing but O.P.P SUVs. I go out with my dog, I see what's going on, I come back in, and as soon as I come back in, they conveniently are fucked off, using saying that they were just there parked there for having a little chat with each other. Bullshit. You don't convene there for no fucking reason. You never have. So if that's what you're telling certain people, it's 100% lie. That was done to fucking profile me. And I'm saying that without any kind of paranoia. I know just because you park somewhere don't mean to say that you're necessarily there for me or anybody else. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form. I'm not that paranoid, sorry. I know you want to think that, but I'm not. You use Billy Wooldridge, people with highly psychotic delusions, to mentally manipulate people in hopes to commit suicide, in hopes to mentally fuck people up, take them off their consciousness. You lobotomize your victims, you electroshock your victims. I have no fucking feeling or stimulation in my head anymore whatsoever. Luckily, the doctors here have aided and helped buying time just long enough, so pretty soon I will end up disappearing as Billy Wooldridge or Blair Hardy or Tyler Lake or one of them, or I'll just be mentally fucked up to the point where they will get away with this and they can have me put away because I'll be fucking mentally screwed up enough. They fucked my right brain and now they're going after my left side. Tyler Lake, Jabin Alstein, you're gonna go down for this. Blair Hardy, you're gonna go down for this. And Billy Waldridge, you're gonna go down for this. It, RCMP won't do it. They human traffic. CSIS won't do it. They human traffic. It's gonna have to be done by the fucking public because that's the only way the police are gonna get any arresting and charging done. They've already assured this crime against me. You stole my fucking identity, you stole my mother's life, and you're stealing my fucking bloodline and my life because I spoke up and tried to save lives from you pieces of shit cops. Completely and totally fucking mutilate me and deform me for fucking Blair Hardy, for Tyler Lake using a bunch of junkies to do this to me, to defray me as all of these bastards. Good job, you fucking garbage. Like I said, my identity theft is done. And one way or another, O.P.P, Blair Hardy, the doctors here, you will go down and you will be arrested and charged, and I will fucking sue your asses off. No matter what you do to me, anything happens to me, somebody remember my tattoos because anything happens to me, it is fucking the police. It is their little meth fed junkie pieces of shit. It is the doctors here involved, and they need to be arrested and charged. Be safe, everybody. Chris Wood, not Blair Hardy, not Tyler Lake, not Javen Allstein, and not Billy Waltridge. You're lucky that nobody knows about remote neuromonitoring here in Napanee, so it benefits you 100% to get away with the crimes you're getting away with. Congratulations, Tyler Lake, you fucking scumbag piece of shit, you 30-year-old little O.P.P meth-fed cocksucker. And so is your girlfriend. You're animal murders as well. You're guilty of animal abuses and murders as well for police revenge. Good going, you garbage. The O.P.P, you think you know anybody that's had any problems or involvement with them? Fight it because they kidnap, they false arrest, they sex assault. They're guilty of slavery, they're guilty of treason, and they're guilty of domestic terrorism. They're guilty of my identity theft to frame me. They're putting illegal prisoner tracking on their victims. They're guilty of financial thefts and frauds, welfare, disability, pension thefts and frauds with Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Vin Alstein, and the rest. Too conveniently, they're all unarrestable. Trust me, I've been trying. You try to save lives against O.P.P, it won't happen, especially if you are poor, homeless, elderly, disabled. They're hate criminals. Families are murdered and missing. It is Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. It is Blair Hardy. It is Billy Waldridge. It is Tyler Lake. It is Jason Van Alstyne. And they are also the drug traffickers and the ones that are lacing the drugs in Napanee to murder victims to make it look like junkies just bought another batch of bad drugs and overdosed from them. Meanwhile, it's done with intent to make it look that way. Blair Hardy is also guilty of raping a woman named Olivia, who is now dead. And he was also involved, him and Jason Van Alstyne, with the homicide of Jack Clark. They were there, they were involved with it. So beware of this, people. You buy drugs in Napanee, you're buying them through Spencer Mills and Robert Kane, from Blair Hardy, from Tyler Lake, Jabin Alstein, and the rest. So be safe, everybody. One way or another, this is done, and one way or another, you will fucking pay for this. I'm not gonna go down for this fucking garbage, and there will be arresting one way or another, O.P.P.